After 4 heart-pounding seasons of demogorgons, government conspiracies, and trips to the Upside Down, Stranger Things has actually managed to keep nearly all of its core cast alive. But with Season 5 being the grand finale, fans are bracing for something far more devastating, a main character dying. The Duffer Brothers said things are gonna be intense, and not everyone might survive this time. So, if the series finally pulls the trigger on a major loss, I'm pretty sure it'll be one of these 3, and here's why. Given Stranger Things' track record, it's safe to say that not everyone will make it out of Season 5 alive, and honestly, it's about time. Let's be honest, we love the Hawkins Crew. The final season of this epic sci-fi saga needs real, lasting consequences to hit us in the feels like we've been expecting. The show's never been afraid to break our hearts, rest in peace, Bob, Alexei, and Eddie, but the main group, the ones we've followed since the very beginning, has always made it out alive. The writers have held back when it comes to the main characters, never really going for a permanent loss. Even Billy, who was a regular and died a good death in Season 3, who was mostly a bad guy. But with the final battle against Vecna looming and the Upside Down bleeding into the real world, the gloves are off. The Duffer Brothers have said this season will be full of high stakes and major feels. So, if Stranger Things is finally gonna kill off a main character, and it feels like it's gonna happen, these are the 3 who seem most likely to kick the bucket. Let me preface this by saying, Steve Harrington is one of the last characters I want to see die in Stranger Things, and I'm pretty sure most fans would agree. Joe Keery's portrayal of the reformed bad boy-turned-babysitter has turned Steve Harrington into a true fan favorite, and his character arc is arguably one of the most satisfying in the entire series. He went from a jerk in Season 1 to the crew's fiercely loyal protector. Steve has grown more than almost anyone else in Hawkins, and yet that might be exactly why his time is up. As painful as it is to admit, there are a lot of signs pointing to Steve meeting his end in Stranger Things Season 5. One of the most chilling is that the Duffer Brothers had originally planned to kill him off back in Season 1. They only didn't because Joe Keery brought unexpected heart and humor to the role, quickly earning his place in the core cast. But now that it's the last season, it feels like a real possibility that Steve Harrington will sacrifice himself to save everyone else. His death would carry enormous emotional weight and serve as a powerful way to raise the stakes. It would also neatly resolve the long-lingering Steve, Nancy, Jonathan love triangle without the need for a forced romantic conclusion. In short, Steve Harrington has become too good, too brave, too selfless, too beloved. And in a show like Stranger Things, that usually means you're gonna get a big, sad send-off. As much as this hurts to say, if anyone is going to break our hearts in Season 5, it's Steve Harrington. Based on everything we've seen in the first 4 seasons of Stranger Things, it's not looking good for Murray Balman. Brett Gelman's portrayal of Murray has also become a fan favorite for many fans. He's hilarious, a total wild card, and a surprisingly good hero, but his character fits a very specific mold that Stranger Things has a habit of killing off. Think about it, Bob Newby, Billy Hargrove, Eddie Munson, they were all awesome, complex side characters who were basically main characters and then, boom, dead by the end of the season. And let's be honest, Hopper already had his death moment. After faking us out with his apparent demise in the Season 3 finale, it would feel like a creative misstep or emotional manipulation overload to go down that road again. Plus, Hopper's got stuff to sort out with Eleven and Joyce. And speaking of Joyce, can you imagine the Duffer Brothers killing off Winona Ryder in the final season? It'd be wrong, Joyce is the heart of the show. Taking her out would be a disaster, that wouldn't be a good ending. So, that leaves us with Murray. As much as we've grown to love his chaotic energy, blunt honesty, and oddly impressive martial arts skills, Murray is expendable, and that's exactly what makes him such a likely target. His death would be a total shocker, super meaningful, and it totally fits with the show's thing with offing the side characters we love, who leave a big impact without messing up the main crew. Plus, he'd totally go out in a blaze of glory, flamethrower, one-liner, last stand for the team. It would totally suck, for sure, but it would make sense. That said, Murray dying would be the safe choice. No disrespect to the flamethrower-wielding conspiracy theorist, but while he's been a consistent source of comic relief and occasional heroics, he's not as emotionally entwined in the core group as the others. His role, even if it's fun to watch, doesn't hit you as hard emotionally. The only time Murray really got serious was when Alexei died in Season 3. Other than that, he's mostly just the guy with the jokes, crazy plans, or random skills that come in really handy. So, maybe that's exactly why the Duffer Brothers will choose to kill him off. Killing Murray would prove Season 5 has real stakes without totally bumming us out. It's a smart move. It will make us feel something without totally destroying us, setting up something even bigger. If Steve, or someone else from the main crew, is really gonna die, losing Murray first could soften the blow. Basically, Murray's death is the heads up before the big one. This one is a bit of a hot take, but I gotta say it, if Stranger Things wants to end with a real tearjerker, it might be Eleven biting the dust. Millie Bobby Brown's portrayal of Eleven has been the emotional and narrative centerpiece of the series from the very beginning. She's the heart of the show, its most iconic character, and undeniably the face of the franchise. And, ironically, that's why I'm not so sure she'll make it out of Season 5 alive. Throughout the series, Eleven, also known as Jane Hopper, has repeatedly danced on the edge of death. From closing the gate in Season 2, to battling the Mind Flayer in Season 3, to that brutal face-off with Vecna, she's always in the thick of it. She's survived every single time, but barely. With the final season coming up and the big showdown on the way, it's hard to see her dodging death forever. All signs point to a climactic showdown between Eleven and Vecna, and the stakes couldn't be higher. She's the only one who can stop him, and that kind of narrative responsibility rarely comes without a cost. It would be so sad but perfect if she ends up sacrificing herself to save everyone. After all, Stranger Things has always been about found family, about choosing love over fear. And Eleven, who began her journey alone and voiceless, has spent every season learning to fight for people rather than just with her powers. Her final move could be the ultimate act of love, a sacrifice that finally ends the nightmare once and for all. The idea of Stranger Things killing off its lead is a hard pill to swallow for all Stranger Things 11 fans. It would be brutal, it would be heartbreaking, and yet it would also be unforgettable. If the Duffers want to end things with a big, emotional bang that makes the show legendary, maybe Eleven's death is the cost. As Stranger Things heads into its final season, the question isn't just who will survive, but whose loss will shape the legacy of the show. We all hate saying bye to our favorite characters, but the Hawkins story needs some big sacrifices, maybe even some serious feels. Steve Harrington's hero's journey feels like it's building to a tragic but noble end. Murray's death would suck, but it feels like the safest bet, to soften us up. And Eleven? If she goes, it's gonna be the ultimate tearjerker. Of course, there's always a chance that the Duffer Brothers pull the rug out from under us with a twist we didn't see coming. Still, based on what's happened, those three seem like the most likely to bite the dust in Season 5. Whether it's a big hero moment, a super sad goodbye, or a total shocker, one thing's for sure, Hawkins will never be the same. Let us know in the comments who you think will be dying in the finale of Stranger Things Season 5. If you are a Stranger Things freak, like this video and subscribe to Strangers Freaks for more Stranger Things theories, news, tops, and more.